Wishing you and your family happiness and peace this holiday season. From all of us here at WKBS Channel 48.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. The broadcasters in our area, in voluntary cooperation with the FCC and other authorities, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been instructed where to tune in your area for news and official information. The station serves...
In the Bahamas, Ed Allen and crew stay at the Britannia Beach and Ocean Club hotels on Paradise Island, the ultimate experience.
Stay tuned as a secret is unlocked in the town of Monticello on the edge of night next. Then it's love and romance aboard the high seas with the Love Boat this morning at 11 o'clock on Channel 48. Have a joyous holiday season from our family to yours.
A newborn king to see.
I slept 8 hours last night. Ate all my breakfast cereal. I'm ready for whatever you have to throw at me today. Do your worst.
I have good news for you. We'll probably leave you alone most of the day. All you have to do is lie here and look beautiful, which shouldn't be too difficult for you.
Bet you say that to all your anemia patients.
Of course, if you have any more problems during the day, we might try some kind of remedial action.
Such as blood transfusions. You know, I don't mind those. They make me feel a lot healthier. Of course, they don't last very long, do they?
Well, I better be going. I'm sure your husband will be around pretty soon now.
Oh, yeah, he's here first thing every morning.
I'll stop by later in the day. Keep your chin up.
Sure.
Good morning, Miles. We'll talk about that.
How is she?
Shall we? Well, she slept soundly. Appetite moderately good. I told her we wouldn't be bothering her much today.
Because there isn't much we can do for her. Isn't that right? Without Jody, just about nothing at all.
There's no word about her sister?
No word.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Kelly Muffin's alive! He didn't die!
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Mild Ivory Liquid, the dishwashing liquid with long-lasting suds, and by Duncan Hines Layer Cake Mixes, Light and Moist Deluxe 2 and Extra Moist Pudding Recipe.
Where's Sydney?
Upstairs playing.
Ah, it's a good time to frost my cake.
Someone thinks your cake is pretty good without frosting.
Sydney, you're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Duncan Hines. Our cake's so moist, even unfrosted, the taste comes alive.
He says he couldn't help himself. It's so delicious.
He's right.
Harry.
Duncan Hines Light Deluxe 2 and Pudding Recipe. So moist and delicious, they might not wait till they're frosted.
Marge, I don't have enough money. Well, put back this detergent and fabric softener and get this detergent with built-in fabric softener.
Both three?
It's some value.
Why spend the money on separate detergent and fabric softener? Buy Bowl 3. It's detergent and fabric softener together. Bowl 3 cleans, softens, and controls static.
More Bold 3? Why spend extra? Bold 3 cleans and softens in one.
Detergent plus fabric softener. That's the built-in value of Bold 3.
Yes, of course it's going to make a difference. I mean, before they were just looking for a runaway. Now they're looking for a fugitive. That means that every police department in the country is going to be hunting for Kelly.
Still, you can't expect me to be happy because there's a warrant out for this boy's
Listen,
arrest.
I'm not going to argue the merits of the case with you. I just don't know that many facts about it. But I can tell you one thing. Derek is convinced that Kelly is guilty.
Are you sure that that's Derek's reason? I mean, maybe Derek is just trying to be kind, you know, to me.
Why would you think that?
Well, because Derek knows that finding Kelly is basically the same thing as finding Jody, and he may just be trying to help the cause.
Well, I'm sure he's not against helping the cause, but I know he wouldn't pervert his job as chief of police to trump up false charges. No, he really believes that Kelly killed Elliot Dorn.
This has got to be upsetting Nancy and Mike, too. Kelly is Nancy's nephew, and they've been living together for months. It's as if he were her son.
Well, except with one big difference, you know. It's a son that arrives at the age of 20. They don't really know him at all. Listen, I didn't want this news to upset you. I wanted you to see the good side of it.
Is there a good side of it?
Yes, there is. Look, guilty or innocent, Kelly did the wrong thing by running away, avoiding responsibility. Now, if he's innocent, they can prove that when he gets back here. But meanwhile, the important thing is that he took Jody with him, and he gave her the means to avoid her own responsibility.
You know, finding Jody is not necessarily the solution.
It's half the battle.
You can't force her to make her give me her bone marrow.
No, but she can be persuaded, and she will when she realizes.
When she realizes what? That I am dying.
When she realizes how wrong she is to deny you such a simple thing. You're tired, aren't you?
No, I didn't tell the truth to Dr. Stewart.
What do you mean?
Truth is, I didn't sleep very much last night. Woke up at 4 in the morning. I was thinking. I was wondering if I'm ever going to see Adam again.
You will. You will.
But you know, I had some really nice thoughts, too. Some really nice things came into my mind. Little things. They were so nice. Sunday morning in our bedroom. Coffee cups by the bed. And newspapers scattered all over the blanket. And you know, Adam's little old teddy bear just sort of halfway under the bed. One of my slippers on yours. Oh, funny what you think about it 4 in the morning.
Yes, it is.
Honey, I really should sleep now.
Then you go ahead and sleep, my beautiful wife.
Dr. Kavanagh?
Oh, hello, Miss Duval.
Yes, hello. Well, I hope it was all right for me to come to the hospital. But after what you told me about Jody and your wife...
Oh, yes. Oh,
this is for your wife.
Thank you so much. That's so considerate of you. I'm sorry, she just went to sleep, I'm afraid.
Of course, it's all right. I did not really expect to see her. You know, she doesn't know me, of course.
Well, believe me, she knows who you are, and she knows what you are to Jody.
Right now, I am not much of anything to Jody, am I? Have you heard anything from her?
No, nothing at all.
Well, yesterday you started to tell me something about your wife and Jody, but you didn't...
Mr. Val, it's so complicated.
Sure. I'm sorry, I understand. Oh, well, I won't bother you any further. Thank you. Goodbye.
Mr. Val, I'm sorry. Look, come have coffee with me, can you?
Sure, of course.
Good. Cafeteria's this way.
official. I mean, we haven't got Kelly McGrath yet, but we do have a warrant for his arrest. I just hope when he hears about it, he realizes the best thing he can do is just come on home.
Do you really believe that? He'll probably hop the next freighter to South America. Hell, that's what I'd do.
Well, I don't know. Now, that kind of depends.
On what?
On whether he's guilty or innocent.
Not necessarily. If Kelly didn't knock off Elliot Dorn and feels he's going to go to jail for it anyway, that's a good excuse to run away.
Yeah, but why wouldn't that be a good excuse to come back and fight or prove his innocence?
You can't fight City Hall, Calvin. You know that.
Well, it's more like the state he's going to have to contend with.
Well, is that any better?
Maybe not.
Yeah, I still feel sorry for the guy, even though I don't like him that much.
Well, if you don't like him, why are you always defending him?
I don't know. Maybe it's because of Jody. She seems to think he's an okay guy.
Now, that's one thing I do resent. I hold that against him. I mean, guilty or innocent, he had no right to take Jody away from Monticello.
Yeah, I resent that myself.
Hey, Red.
Hello.
Oh, when did you get back in
Last
town?
night.
Oh.
Do you think I could borrow my partner for a minute?
Yeah, he's all yours.
Thanks.
What's going on in that head of yours? I see that look in your eye.
Calvin, I've been up all night thinking, and I thought I was going to sound a little strange in the morning, but I think it's worth a try.
It must have something to do with the Dorn case. I mean, you haven't been thinking about much else these days.
Yeah. Calvin, I think I've come up with a way that we can trap Elliot Dorn's killer.
With Comtrex, you may almost forget you have a cold.
I know my cold is still there, but thanks to Comtrex, I almost feel like it's gone.
I still have a cold, but thanks to Comtrex, I almost don't feel like I do.
These are some of the things you can take for a cold. But for one with nasal congestion, aches, sneezing, and coughs, Comtrex multi-symptom cold reliever does more. It even relieves coughs. So all by itself, it gives more kinds of relief than Dristan or Contac or Bayer. Try Comtrex in tablets, liquid, or capsules.
I speak for a lot of women when I say younger-looking hair does fabulous things for your looks, even your life. Younger-looking hair is soft, shining hair, like a child that bounces with fresh color.
And Miss Clairol covers gray completely. Makes you seem younger, more vital. And that's a real advantage in this competitive world. I guess that's why more hairdressers choose Miss Clairol colors. Miss Clairol, for all the advantages of younger-looking hair.
Okay, Calvin, I'm ready.
Okay.
Now, the first thing that happens, Raven goes to London, finds out she's been cut out of her mother's will. Then she finds out that Jamie stands to inherit the entire fortune. So she comes back to Monticello with one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to get custody of her kid. Not because she cares about him. She already proved how she felt about him when she left him, right? The only thing she wants is the money. The only way she can do that is to get custody, but that's not even good enough. Her mother's got to die.
Well, you make it sound pretty bad, Red.
Well, it's the truth, isn't it? The only way you can get a will to work is if the person who wrote it is dead. And that's exactly what happened to Nadine. She got into a car accident in a perfectly sound car on a clear evening, just a couple of minutes after she had tea with her daughter. Certainly would like to analyze Raven's teacups.
Okay, what about Elliot?
Okay, Elliot. Now, the trial is going hot and heavy. Everything's in Raven's favor, right? Logan cannot come up with one shred of evidence that proves that Raven was an unfit mother until Elliot shows up with this letter, the letter that Raven wrote giving April and Draper. Anyway, Elliot has decided to start blackmailing Raven.
Now, hold on. How are you going to prove that?
Well, it's obvious. We found the letter in an envelope addressed to Logan Swift. Isn't it obvious what he meant to do?
Right. Okay, I'll give you that one. Go ahead.
Okay, Raven can't deal with it. She makes an after-hours appointment with Elliot, goes to the Unicorn with knife in hand, finds one of Kelly's puppets, and stabs him in the back. No problem.
Okay, what about Cliff?
Cliff is the same thing. He's come up with enough evidence to prove that Raven has killed Elliot, and he makes a mistake of telling her about it, so she has to do the same thing with him. Show me where I'm wrong.
All right. What about Molly Sherwood?
Molly Sherwood. Well, I don't know about her yet, but I do have a couple of ideas. Yeah. One of which, she was babysitting for Jamie the night that Nadine was killed. She might have overheard something, seen something. Raven got nervous and tried the same thing on her.
Well, I certainly give you first prize for stubbornness, that's for sure.
You haven't heard anything yet. Wait till Raven hears about the witness.
What witness?
The witness who saw Raven and the unicorn that night?
There isn't any such witness.
She doesn't know that.
Oh, come on, Red. That's a dumb old trick. You really think she's gonna fall for that?
Why not?
Well, for one thing, it's way out of line. What do you think Chief Mallory's gonna do when he hears about it?
He's gonna love it if it works. Come on, Calvin, you with me or what?
You want me to help you put that red head of yours into a noose, don't you? Well, no way, Mama, no way.
All right, all right, all right. I'm doing it myself.
What's the matter, Calvin? Gavin, you know, there used to be 3 of us. The 3 Musketeers, they called us. I have a terrible feeling that very soon, we're only going to be 1.
Can the Zest tub test convince Shelley McIntyre to give up her soap? She's just drained and rinsed 2 tubs. In one, her soap. In the other, deodorant Zest.
My soap won't rinse off. I can feel the film on my tub, but the Zest tub, it just feels like a clean tub. I'm probably taking a shower and leaving half the soap on my body.
Then we asked Shelley to try Zest at home.
The Zest did lather well. It rinsed off really very easily, whereas my soap was just sitting on my skin. The Zest, you just get underneath the water and it rinsed right off. I felt cleaner. I felt a lot cleaner because I knew that it had rinsed off my body.
Give up soap and feel cleaner with deodorant Zest. Shelley McIntyre did.
Now I continue to use it instead of my soap. Zest has convinced me.
Can these hands fool you? Who's mother and who's daughter? Can't tell? Meet Pat Kendall and Laura. They're both students at Northwestern.
When you're in school with students Laura's age, young-looking hands are very important. And Mom's hands are very young-looking. Similar to mine.
Pat Kendall does lots of dishes. What's her secret?
She uses Ivory Liquid, and so do I. I've used Ivory Liquid 20 years. It's very mild to my hands.
Lab tests show Ivory Liquid's mildest to hands of all leading brands.
It's thick and creamy looking. I love the rich suds. Nothing we tried gets dishes cleaner. I'm counting on keeping my hands young looking, like Mom's, and Ivory Liquid will help.
Mild Ivory Liquid, because young-looking hands are worth holding on to.
Hey, your folks got a new set of wheels.
Come on! We brought you something.
Puritan oil?
Puritan is part of our diet to fight cholesterol.
And it makes food taste great.
I use corn oil.
Puritan has more polyunsaturates than corn oil. It also looks lighter.
Tastes lighter.
Delicious. You young folks really know what's cooking.
Puritan, a delicious part of your diet to fight cholesterol.
So now you know the whole story. Mr. Val, Martine, may I call you that?
Sure.
Martine, I don't know whether we're going to be able to find Jody in time. But if we do, could you possibly help me? Could you talk to Jody about this operation?
Of course, but I'm not an expert.
Well, you're an expert to her. You are her idol right now. And if I can convince you, if I can assure you that this operation is safe, that it will inflict no permanent injury, that it will not affect Jody's career, will you speak to her about it?
Of course I will. I will do anything, you know. I will talk to her. I will try to...
Hello, Martine. We do seem to keep meeting at the most unusual places.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I came to visit a sick friend in the hospital. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend?
This is Dr. Cavanaugh.
Oh, doctor. Well, I don't see your white coat, doctor.
Well, you're absolutely right. I must be an imposter. I didn't catch your name.
The name is Schuyler Whitney.
Oh, Whitney. I know your aunt very well.
Yes. Well, that's not surprising. Everyone in town knows her. Just as they'll know me. Just as they'll know my beautiful star dancer. Do you mind if I join you?
Well, you're welcome to take my seat. I've got to get going. I've got to start on rounds as soon as I put on my white coat. Listen, thank you very, very much, Martine. We'll be in touch, all right?
Oh, well, please, as soon as you hear anything, please let me know, okay?
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Mr. Whitney?
Well, I didn't know you were consulting a Dr. Martine. Is there some medical problem that I should know about?
There is nothing you should know about. It has nothing to do with me. It's about his wife and Jody Travis.
The rather attractive man, the doctor.
I'd like to know why you're here. Are you spying on me again the way you did in Europe? Because if you are, I won't stand for it. Do you understand,
I
Sally?
told you, Martine. I'm here visiting a sick friend. It's just a little coincidence, that's all. Now let's go and get some decent lunch.
You know, this is really one of the happiest moments of my life. It's so wonderful to see something so sick brought back to life.
Jody, what's the matter?
Nothing, I'm all right.
Why are you suddenly so miserable? You were just happy.
Can't you tell, Kelly? Don't you know what I'm thinking?
I'm a puppeteer. I'm not a mind reader. Come on, you should be thrilled. You just saved the dog's life.
Yeah, I saved the dog's life. But I could have saved a human being's life. My own sister.
No, Jody,
I
don't.
could have. All I had to do was let them take a little bone marrow. And then Nicole would have been all right.
But there was no guarantee it would work. The odds were against it.
Weren't the odds against Muffin, too? But he's alive. He's alive, and I'm not even sure if Nicole is. And no matter how small the chance was, Kelly, it was still a chance. And I took it away from her. Kelly, I have to go back.
What?
I have to go back to Monticello. Right now. Look, I don't want to leave you. But I can't let my sister die.
When Kevin has a bump or a bruise, a hug and kiss usually do the trick. But when he gets a fever, he needs more than affection. I give him children's Tylenol. It's the one more pediatricians give their own kids. I can't think of a better recommendation. Can you?
To bring down your child's fever fast, trust Children's Tylenol in chewables, liquid, and drops.
Fever's down. What a relief.
To bring down fever fast, trust Children's Tylenol. It's the one more pediatricians give their own children.
Finally, a knife that sharpens itself.
Introducing the Wilkinson Sword Self-Sharpening Knife. A knife sharpener in one. You never knew slicing, paring, or carving could be so easy. Every time the stainless steel blade is removed from its storage case, it receives a professional sharpening. The new Wilkinson Sword Self-Sharpening Knife helps you get a sharp edge and keep it. Another fine product from Wilkinson Sword.
Makes a sharp gift, too.
Linda Carter must rescue a young girl from the evils of a super rock star on Wonder Woman tonight at 6 o'clock. Then later, a band leader tries to open a nightclub with someone else's money. Dennis Morgan and Janice Page star in The Time, the Place, and the Girl, tonight's 8 o'clock movie on Channel 48.
Don't say anything else, Kelly, please. I know how you're feeling, but you have to understand how I feel.
Sure I do. Look, I know you never really wanted to run away from Monticello. If I hadn't told you my plans, you probably never would have.
I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I wasn't thinking straight. All I knew was I couldn't face what was ahead of me there. I couldn't bring myself to say yes. I couldn't say no.
Y'all come back now. Here. The Edge of Night will not be seen today because of a preemption by the network. Stay tuned now for Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore in The Dick Van Dyke Show next on Channel 48. Edith's erratic behavior puzzles the whole family tonight on All in the Family at 7:30 here on Channel 48.